What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bleed Blue Daily Show. I am Paul, joined by Jaden. Happy Friday. We are a couple hours away from Kentucky basketball. We're a little over 24 hours away from Kentucky football. Jaden, how you feeling?
I feel great. It's still way too cold outside. We
It's
we
very
begged
cold.
for it. We begged for it to be a little bit cold, and they gave us all the cold all of a sudden. But we have
Yeah, it's like a
we have
winter
some exciting
winter
things going on
wonderland
this
out
weekend. Do what?
here. It's like a winter wonderland out here.
Oh yeah, it's not snowing currently in Lexington, but does that mean it's on its way?
No, it was. I think it's over,
Oh,
but I'm talking about yesterday.
oh yeah, I got you. I thought you were saying it was snowing again at yours.
No. It's actually I was gonna say it's sunny out, but it's not really sunny out. But I think it's going to be a chilly one for the final game next week.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to bundle up big time. 2 layers of socks, gloves. I'm
Two
going all the
layers
way
of
probably.
socks. I feel like that might be
I mean,
extensive.
I don't know what the actual temperature is supposed to be. I'm just kind of I'm expecting you to say it's gonna be like 6 degrees or something.
I don't think it's gonna be that. I don't think it's gonna be that cold. It's gonna be beautiful in Texas tomorrow. I will say that.
Do
I
you
think it's
see
supposed to be 65.
the snow games? The
Yeah,
NFL game?
36. It's gonna be 36 on Saturday.
Man, it's been 36 this week, and that's really sucked.
The high this week is going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be 50. Sorry, Monday. It's going to be 64. But
I'm
it's
gonna
going to
be
be
inside a lot this
36 for
week.
the Louisville game. So yes, it will be a bundle up game.
At least the sun will be out or like above us. Maybe that'll help somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're going to have a sunny day. But Kentucky excited for game day. Kentucky plays Jackson State tonight at Rupp Arena. I believe that game is at 7. Is that right? 7.
6 or 7, yeah. 7 sounds right. They tend to play at 7.
I don't know if
Honestly,
this is a
I didn't
diamond.
even look at the time. Do I?
I might have found a diamond. I don't know if it's
A
diamond,
diamond?
glass, fake. I don't know. I will ask somebody, not me, but I just found it on my. Anyway, that's weird. So yeah, we play tonight. I think it's at 7, and then obviously Kentucky plays Texas tomorrow at 3:30. Jaden, have you given tonight's game any thoughts? Do you think it's going to be any closer than you thought yesterday, or do you think this is another comfortable win for Kentucky?
No, I still think this is probably the worst team we'll play all season. They've struggled in this game. 0-5, obviously. Um, Losses to Vandy, 50-point loss to Xavier, 50-point loss to Houston. Lost to Western by 17 in this BBN Invitational that they're doing. It's they struggle. That's the nicest way I could put it. They are not they offensively rebound pretty well. They rebound pretty decently overall. Um, Pope didn't really have many nice things to say about them outside of that. He kept saying historically in the past they're this, like this is their reputation, but didn't have a ton else to give us on positives because numbers are bad.
Yeah.
Things are not going well for Jackson State.
Yeah, I don't think that Kentucky has a ton to worry about in this game. To be honest with you, I think that they should probably win this game fairly handedly. But um, it's you never fully know. You never
Have you
fully know.
seen how have you seen how big the center is?
No,
He is 290 pounds.
that
It's
does
a
not
big
seem.
it's a big boy. You should just look him up. His name's Shannon Grant, I think. Let me make sure I have that
For
correct. Yeah,
Jackson
Shannon
State.
Grant.
Yeah,
Yeah, for Jackson State. He's their starting center.
6'11",
Uh
290.
do what?
6'11", 290.
It's a big boy.
That's a big
Pope
boy.
called him Pope called him the biggest center they'll play all year. So he's the biggest player they'll play.
Is he though? Is he?
290 is pretty big.
I mean, the thing is, Amari's not that much small. I mean, I know he's big, but Amari's like 270. Like, that's not
Yeah, but
small.
Amari's massive. Like,
Yeah, I mean, Amari's
there aren't a lot of players bigger than Amari in college basketball either.
yeah, I mean, Amari is a big boy. That's
But
100% fair.
so it's the only two players that play that are taller than 6'5" are the 4 and the 5 that start. 6'9" and 6'11". Everybody else is 6'5" and below on the entire team. Nobody on the bench is taller than 6'5".
That is not good for them. But like look, here's the thing I think Pope was trying to instill, right? They play hard. Now, this is the thing about this team that I like the absolute most is I think that this team, when I say this team, I think Kentucky, like they have a killer mentality. I don't think it matters who they play. I don't think that they're worried about the logo that's on the chest. I think that they're going to try and win the game and really, you know, pound them early. They've done an amazing job of burying teams early. And I know we can talk about all maybe we haven't played. You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, you look around the league and there's been plenty of games where teams, I mean, that have played games that don't bury them early. I mean, like the games are over at the 10-minute mark, except for Duke, obviously. Every other game we played has been basically over at the 10-minute mark
Yeah,
of the first half.
we've never had to worry at all, really, in any of the
No.
games. There's never been a point, even early on. I don't feel like there's ever been a point where I was like, "This is going to be competitive." They've kind of ran away with teams, and Pope was notorious. I forgot what the exact stat was, but he's real good at beating the bad teams by a bunch, and just kind of running on teams early and blowing it open immediately.
He was
He's
very
kind of been known for that.
He was very complimentary of Otega, saying Otega is very good at starting games fast. When you looked and he talked about kind of the analytics of like rotation, it was interesting when he was talking about guys sometimes take 2, 4, or that they looked at guys in the first like in 10 minutes, like from 1 to 10, and how fast it takes them to kind of warm up into the game, right? Otega, he's like is a guy that basically the ball it's tip and he's good and he goes right. And he said some of the other guys take a while, can take a few minutes, and that's part of where they go into the game plan. I think it's part of where guys go into rotation. It's probably also why Kobe Brea is not a big deal coming off the bench because I believe Kobe Brea is probably one of those guys that it doesn't matter, right? And if you have a guy, I think Amari is probably one of those. Now Jackson Robinson's a guy that really needs to kind of grow into a I think Andrew Carr is a guy that needs to grow into a game as well. But I think like Kobe, Amari, even Lamont kind of needs to grow into the game a little bit, right? And it's not necessarily handling the
Lamont's
ball, but
been
it's
inconsistent at the beginning of games.
correct.
He's good sometimes. He's bad. I haven't totally figured
The
out him
attack
yet.
mode. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
attack mode, right? And so I think that that's also why when we were talking about who's going to start, I think Kobe Brea is one of those guys that's great to take off the bench because you don't want to start every single guy that starts fast. If you cannot do it, you want to have that. And he's a guy that basically comes off the bench and gives you instant scoring. If he's open, he's hitting. So that really goes into, I think, the brain of Mark Pope a little bit more and why like the rotation is set up the way it is. And obviously he talks about going into field, but I mean, it was crazy to listen to a coach talking about the analytics of this so openly, you know,
as
obviously I
opposed
think,
to I had a dream last night as to what my rotation should be.
yeah, exactly. I think, you know, we had Cal for 3 years and obviously, you know, we had really good runs under him, but it's interesting to see that this is a coach that has such a depth of knowledge under it. And you know, I asked him the question too about that. You know, the what's on the front of the jersey, does that matter? And he's like, no, like they're just trying to get better. I think that he said it the way I think we all had thought, but it's not the way that anybody's really articulated. This team is trying to become something. Right? That's what they want to do, and they're working for that. I think you have a bunch of guys who are very talented, who now have a shot somewhere they probably never thought. And it's going to be the more this season goes in this trajectory, the more it's going to be potentially like, you know, look, how many times has Kentucky been on the butt end of a Cinderella, right? How many times? Several.
Yeah,
Several. When is the last time Kentucky has been the Cinderella? Like, I mean, even if you look at that team that was the 8th seed, I don't know if you'd say that they're the Cinderella because of their roster, right? So
I
I
mean, they
think
beat
that
a bunch of pretty good teams. A bunch of teams that were
they
better
did.
than them.
They did, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like the Cinderella mantra, and it was being Kentucky with 8 5-star players and 7 or 8 McDonald's all Americans on the roster. I think it was a little different then than it is now.
Are you saying just like the current run is the Cinderella run? Because I don't know that there'll be a Cinderella by March. I think
I think this team will be a Cinderella no matter what because it's a no name, like right, like, and I was at
just like a preseason Cinderella.
no, just like they're the no names, right? Like they're the guys that were not highly touted, weren't highly recruited. That if they go and do something, they get to a Final Four. God forbid they win a national title, because we're going to be insufferable. That's why I say God forbid. I think that's where you have to think about this as a Cinderella team, right? Like this is a no. I mean, for lack of a better word, it's a bunch of no-name guys that came from a lot of no-name programs. Not all of them, some of them, right? Some of them, look, we wouldn't know who Lamont Butler was if he didn't play. If San Diego State doesn't go on that run, right, or if he doesn't hit that shot. Not a lot of people knew who Kobe Brea was. I mean, maybe you heard about a guy that shot really well. At Dayton, I don't remember him. I don't remember really hearing much about him. Jackson Robinson, we didn't really know a lot about Jackson Robinson. So you kind of go down that whole list of guys, right? And I think that's where you really sit and see that. And welcome in Joe Adams to the show. He's in. Joe, what happened to your hat? It's like all like knocked in right here. Like, you got to just pop
I
it out.
know.
Take it off
I'm
and
like,
pop
what?
it out. Let everyone see the ball.
I was trying to fix it.
Yeah. Um,
There we go.
anyway,
It's still doing it.
what do you kind of think? You jumped in kind of in the middle of that topic, so we'll let you kind of jump in with your feedback on that.
Well, I definitely jumped in really late. So I guess you're talking about a lot of our team members came from different schools we've never really heard about, and how insufferable will be if we were to make a deep run into March Madness. Is that what you guys are kind of hitting on?
No, you're talking about that this is kind of like a Cinderella team, no matter
Oh
what,
yeah. Okay.
because of the
Yeah.
roster and it not
Exactly.
and basically, we were an 8 seed, and you could say that's a Cinderella run, but that team was loaded with McDonald's All-Americans and top players, right? So I think it was Cinderella, but it was less of it thought that way. I feel like the national media would take this a lot more, and I don't know the last time Kentucky has been a team like that where you get the blue collar, hardworking, guys that aren't the 5 stars that maybe would make a run and do something. And Kentucky might never have a team like this again.
I agree. I think we were just in a weird spot where we literally had one guy on our roster, and so he had to go fill a roster up. And now there's going to be a lot of unknowns. I mean, a lot of people are already speculating who we're going to have back next year. And I would just caution people, enjoy this team, enjoy what we have right now. And then when next year comes, we'll worry about it then. I know we already have 3 people locked up for our recruiting class. I feel like we'll add another 1, maybe 2. And obviously there'll be the transfer portal out there. But yeah, I would agree. I mean, a lot of the experts had a
transfer portal hard too. Like, I think people need to understand, like, next 2 or 3 years, Kentucky's going to hit the transfer portal hard. And the biggest difference between now is that they are going to have more of a foundational group of guys that are here, right? So we got 4 guys coming in. There's probably at least 3 guys coming back that we know of in Chandler, Noah, right, and Perry. So there's 7 guys on the roster there, right? Right, like that, right? They're going to probably go out and get 4 more. It depends, right? So, right, let's say we have 4 guys come in. We got 3 returns, so there's 7, right? You're going to go get at least 4 guys out of the portal that are going to be bigger contributors. Maybe Kerr comes back, maybe somebody, I would say you probably have Garrison. That might be one. So let's just say Kerr and Garrison come back. Now your team is at 7. It's at 9. You have 4. You have 13. There's your roster, right? So, maybe they don't even go 4. Maybe they go 2 or 3, but they're really big time players, right? Because we're not having to fill 12 NIL spots. So I think that's going to be where it's going to be different. But Kentucky's going to hit that until you get this kind of revolving door of players that are going in and out, where you're losing 2 or 3, you're bringing in three recruits, you're bringing in 2 or 3 transfers, and that team kind of stays that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I know a lot of people think Ortega's going to be back for sure next year. And like we mentioned a couple weeks ago, I mean his draft stock keeps going up. He's a first round pick. He's not coming back. I don't think. Obviously with NIL and stuff.
Ortega and Amari are the two that have the most NBA ready bodies out there.
Exactly. Yep.
On this team. And I mean, Bray is going to go no matter what because he's a senior, but I mean, Ortega's got a body for an NBA right now.
Yeah, and Brandon Garrison's close. You know, he has what the NBA likes. There's some things he needs to fundamentally work on still. So I do think he'll be back. But I mean, if it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's all about potential in the NBA. So like he could see his name.
It's just harder for a guy. It's harder, I think, for a big to go early like that than it is for a guard. Like they're going to draft a lot more on a guard, unless the big is kind of like, you know, what's his face that just went to San Antonio, Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Wembanyama.
Unless it's someone like him, but he also played pro over in Europe, right? Like so, he's playing against grown ass men and doing stuff. So I feel like it's a little bit
since LeBron, so that helps.
Do what?
He's also the best prospect since LeBron, so that helps.
I mean, he looked a little shaky last year, but this year that's a freak. He's a freak.
Yeah. He's a healthy career away from being top 10 all-time GOAT conversation. That dude's insane.
Can't wait till he goes to like Miami and wins titles. It's gonna be great.
He was my first pick in the fantasy or basketball draft. Good times.
I don't want to.
He's hurt right now, though.
I don't want to talk about Bronny and LeBron. It'll just make me mad.
Yeah, I hear you.
Joe, what do you think about? Have you heard anything? Just real quick. I know we still Caleb Wilson, still everything kind of kosher in that world, or is there anything that we need to kind of hit a red button on?
Yeah, we're good. It's just there's some things that there's more into it than just the NIL piece, and people don't understand. There's other things that go along with it, like endorsement deals potentially, or hey, we can also get this done with media deals and TV commercials. Like there's just a lot of things that go into potential shoe deals down the road, and so that's all being still worked out. I really thought this would be done for this signing period, so I am wrong in that aspect when I said it would be a 2-week time frame. He did cancel the visit to Arkansas like I had suggested would probably happen. It's unfortunate that he's not going to decide until December now, but I don't see any reason why he's not coming to Kentucky.
I mean, what did he say? Blue for life or something on like Instagram when he at the Duke game or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't come to Kentucky, he's going to North Carolina. So I don't even know why the other 3 schools are listed that he has listed.
I think the table's got to look good with all the logos on it, got to build suspense.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to kind of describe like the kind of player he is and what he does and what you can expect if he were to commit?
Yeah, I mean, he's a 3-level scorer and he can get to the basket anytime he wants to. So that's always good to have. I'm trying to think who he kind of reminds me of like a Tayshaun Prince in a way, and just how like shifty. Like he doesn't look like the fastest guy in the world, but he can get anywhere he wants to be when he wants to get there. He's 6'9", so he's a stretch 4 easily for us, and he can knock down a 3-point shot. So I think he's a great player to have, and he brings a lot of excitement. He's got a lot of flair to him. He's kind of like Jasper Johnson, where and kind of like Kirk Krista, really, they got that little like a swag to him. I can't even describe it.
Foot wingspan too, which is for like a stretch 3-4. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited.
We can have if he comes next year. Like you could like you're 3-4-5. How big Kentucky would be next year, and athletic. That's freak size.
He's a freak on defense as well. That's, in my opinion, the best part of his game. He's perimeter inside, like 1 through 4, potentially 5 if they're playing smaller. Like he's a legit defender.
He's the most true one and done, I think, of the class if he does come. I mean, obviously, I know Jasper probably has one and done potential. But I would say I would say Caleb Wilson's the most. If you were going to say like just ranking, right? I'm not saying that, not at all saying Jasper when he is going to be a multi-year player, but I think if he right now, I would say Jasper's the most likely, right? But if Caleb Wilson comes, I think Caleb Wilson would be like, I think Caleb Wilson would come here and be almost a double type player as a freshman. Like, I think he's that good.
Yeah, Jasper's shooting is gonna make teams, and just his offense in general is gonna make teams salivate when he comes in. So I like the 6'6" sniper is something that every NBA team, like top of their list, get the 6'6" to 6'8" sharpshooter. And when they see a freshman one pop up on their draft board, they're gonna
He's
be
6'4".
Jasper's only 6'4". I take it
He
back.
plays like 6'6"
My
because
life is ruined. Is his
last week
wingspan
he dunked on that
ridiculously long?
7-footer.
No,
Is his
Caleb
wingspan
Wilson's the
too
one that's
long?
grown. No, yeah.
Well, he's like
Caleb
6'9", yeah.
Yeah, well, he's grown a lot. Caleb Wilson's grown a lot, and Jasper just needs to put on some muscle. Like, he's a little lanky for that size. He needs to put on a little bit more. I mean, obviously, I'm sure he will. He's going to get on campus in January probably, or whenever he does in the summer, he's going to put on 10, 15 pounds of muscle. Just, I mean, if you look at Travis Perry from last year to this year, he doesn't even look the same, right? So that'll happen. I'm not worried about his size. I mean, 6'4" playing a 2 is not like necessarily, and he can play the 1 or the 2, right? Like, so that's not going to be an issue. But when you look at, like, this is where I think having Brandon Garrison back is going to be such a big piece too, because if you have Garrison back and you have Caleb Wilson and you need to go really big, you could go Malachi, you could go Garrison, you could go Caleb Wilson, and you got basically it's 7 foot, 6'9", and then your front end is your 2 is 6 is 6'4", and you've got a 1 that's right around 6 foot. So I mean, that's not a small team by now, and that's before we know who's coming back and transfers. That's just guys we think will be here. So I going to be a pretty elite defensive team next year, even more so. And the scary thing is not only I think that team be elite defensively, they might actually have a chance to be better offensively than this team, which is terrifying.
I know, because I mean, we don't know who's gonna come back. For one, think about if Otega comes back. Well, now you can slide Jasper as a 1. Yeah, Otega as the 2. I mean, it's just like, holy cow.
Otega's not
I know. I don't think he is either. But people are saying, hey, he'll be back next year if he were to come back, because NIL. I mean, you think about it, if he's a late first round pick, early second round, he might make more money coming back.
I also expect his 3-point percentage and field goal percentage to drop a pretty decent amount as we continue through the season.
Why?
Because nobody in the world shoots 53% from 3.
Yeah, but he also has the highest efficiency shot take. He's the highest efficiency shot taker on the team. So he takes the least.
I don't expect any of them to be at 53%. I expect Brea to drop significantly. Like their stats are going to go down as they keep.
I don't
playing.
think Brea is going to. I think Brea, hot take. I think Brea is going to shoot well over. Going to be right around 60% from 3 this year. I just don't. He gets too many good looks.
If he shoots 60% from 3, he's going to be a lottery pick.
Not necessarily, because it's also like, if that's the only
he's the best shooter in the world.
He's a specialist.
Yeah, but they've paid a lot of specialists a lot of money in the NBA.
Yeah, true. I mean, look at Ray Allen. But
they've spent a lot of draft capital on a lot of specialists in the NBA.
You know, who he reminds me of at the NBA level? Danny Green.
I can see that.
A guy that is not an necessarily elite defender, but he doesn't kill you defensively. He's not going to kill you off the dribble, but he can get to the rack in certain situations. But he will absolutely light your ass on fire from behind the arc and win game. And is that, like, he gets on a team that has some pieces around it, like, he's going to be filth. Like, you get him on a team like Minnesota or something where you have Ant who can basically just drive and crash and can kick it to somebody like that.
Brea and Dillingham's your bench guards.
That would be. I mean,
you're giving up 1,000 points a game, but
there's other teams that I'm sure there's other teams that he would be good on, right? Like,
I mean, the stupid Boston Celtics are going to pick him at the
end
of the first round.
I was going to say that Celtics be perfect, which would piss me off.
Channing Tatum, not Channing Tatum. Jeez,
Channing Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
What you been thinking about recently?
Jason Tatum.
Been watching some movies?
No, not no. Just been what's that? A sing along show.
Baby Shark.
Be so mad. He makes me so mad. The guy gets away with more walks and push-offs than anyone in the league. I don't understand it. If you actually locked him up and played good defense on him, the guy would be a bum. I mean, look what happened. Like, he couldn't even sniff the floor in the Olympics. Couldn't sniff it.
No,
the guy was the MVP. When's the last time the MVP of the finals couldn't sniff an Olympic minute on Team USA? Like seriously.
Probably not often.
Never.
I mean, do you know an NBA Finals MVP in the last 10 who would not get clock on the Dream Team?
On the Dream Team, all of them would get clock. Every like a lot of NBA players would get clock on the Dream Team. Like players now are just better in every facet of everything related to athleticism.
But like if you're looking at so I mean if you're looking at this, right? Oh wait, Jaylen Brown. No, I lied. Jaylen Brown got Finals MVP.
Yeah, Tatum
did.
Wasn't he kind of bad in the finals? Jokic, Curry, Giannis, Bron, Kawhi, KD, Bron, Andre Iguodala for holding LeBron to a measly 38-6 or something like that.
Yeah, no, I think it was Jaylen Brown. No, Jaylen Brown got Finals MVP.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
Jaylen Brown got Finals MVP. Jokic, Curry, Giannis, LeBron, Kawhi, Durant, LeBron. Yeah, Iguodala got MVP, but let's be honest though, Iguodala was a baller. Andre Iguodala was a low key assassin, and not only that, he was hitting like crazy in that series too, while locking LeBron up. And it goes Kawhi again, LeBron. In any of those, I mean, I'd say the only one there was probably Iguodala.
Yeah.
Maybe Jaylen Brown. Was Jaylen Brown on the Olympic team? I don't think he was.
No. He was possibly a sub, but they ended up picking somebody else.
Yeah. So
they picked that Devin White or whatever his name is for the Celtics instead. Derek White.
Derek White, yeah. And he played.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
He played over Tatum.
That's Barea right there. White. That's all he comes in and does is he plays decent defense and he knocks down threes.
He's clamps. He's clamps. Brea's not doing that. He's lock up.
I hate Boston so much.
Yeah, I can't watch them.
I also have not watched. I will tell you, I've not watched 1 minute of the NBA this season. Not a single minute.
Wow.
I don't like it that much. Like I look, I'm a Heat fan. I've been a Heat fan my whole life. It's hard for me to get into the NBA until playoff time. Like I just have a hard time watching it. I'll pay, like I'll look, like I'll keep up. Like I know like Tyler Hero's having a big season. You know, he's gained some muscle. He's playing really well. So I know those things, but
he stopped shooting mid ranges.
Yeah, good.
Tyler Hero. I don't know. Somebody did the stat breakdown. He shoots like twice as many threes now and like got rid of all of his mid range stuff that he was so good at. And he's having the best career or best year of his career. Who would have thought?
Yeah, but the Heat are 6 and 7.
Threes and layups. Stop shooting mid ranges. It's not difficult.
Yeah, and the Heat are 6 and 7. So that they're gonna have to go full on rebuild. I mean, their team is, but they're just stuck in contracts, right? Like they don't have don't have a lot of flexibility. The great thing in the NBA is if you got money and you got a front office that doesn't care to spend money, your chance of being down very long is not very high. Unless you're the Knicks and just don't know how to spend money worth of shit and you just give contracts to any doofus off the street. I'm pretty sure Jaden would have gotten at least $3 million over 4 years from the Knicks years ago. Just because
I could make some things happen. I think I could run the Knicks better than the Knicks front office did.
Well, they're doing good now.
Yeah.
I'll say they made a good trade in off season, so
yeah,
that was good.
Yeah. Getting Towns. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's a good one. And they got Brunson. He's a stud. So
you see how Julius Randle and Gobert beefing with each other last night?
No,
I don't know if it was last night.
Yeah.
Randle would just not throw on the ball no matter what. It was hilarious. And then at the very end of the game, with like 2 seconds left, down 5, he throws it at him, and Rudy turns it over.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was so funny.
Well, Gobert is known as defense. He ain't known for offense. I mean,
yeah, he's
the fourth option there. I mean, you're gonna give it to Anthony Edwards or Randall first, and I'm not going to Gobert either. Man. So how we feeling about tonight? We covering the now 36-point spread.
Going up, huh?
Gosh, I went to put a bet on it. I'm like, what? I'm not touching that at 36. I was gonna touch it at 29. It was 29 yesterday. Somebody put a lot of money on that one.
I think one of the big books opened today, and they opened it at like 34.5. So that's kind of where people are going to now.
Well, to move a line 5 to 6 points like that, major money was put down. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, they definitely saw what happened.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'll go over our the picks for tonight. So from our team put all the picks in. So Joe, you've got Kentucky winning tonight 103-60 with Ortega as your MVP. I've got Kentucky winning 104-59 with Kobe Brea as my MVP. Kendall has Kentucky 103-61 with Jackson Robinson. Rando has Kentucky 109-66 with Kerr as the MVP. Selena has 105-55 with Amari, and Jaden, you've got 102-58 with Ainsley. So we're all kind of in that same. I don't like our point total on the win side is within 6 points. Everyone's within 6 points, and on the opponent's score side, it's within we're all within 5 points. 6 points.
Which means it's a guaranteed lock that the game is going to finish like 92-74 or something like that. Yeah. We're all going to be way off.
I don't think we've ever been this close together.
I'm pretty sure our team total, just us, is 97.5.
Wow.
That's a lot of points. I don't know. It's not a lot of times you see a 97.5 team total.
But Jackson State is allowing 88 points a game, and they've only played one good team, that was Houston.
Yeah, I think they're the worst field goal percentage defense in the country, or something.
Yeah, they allow 62%. 62% allowed. That's insanity.
That is not a good recipe to play when you're playing our team.
Do you all want to predict right now what is left on the clock when Kentucky hits 100?
I will tell you this. Here's my prediction. I think Kentucky breaks the all-time record tonight for most threes in a game for Kentucky.
What is it?
21. I think it's 21.
I know the most points is 123 against Marshall last year, right? Was that the number they ended up at? It was. Never mind.
22 threes. Man, that'll be if we hit 22 threes, then my prediction's way off.
Eric Bledsoe has the record for the most three-pointers in a game, 8. I think that's at risk potentially tonight.
From who though? They're not going to play enough minutes.
I don't think it's going to. Yeah, I mean, Kobe Brea is going to get 20 minutes. They're all going to get 20 minutes. I mean, you get wide open. Listen, Kobe Brea can hit 8 threes in 5 minutes if he's wide open. Like that just what am I looking? I'm trying to find it. I think it's 21 or 22 3-point field goals game.
Yeah, that's 66 points right there. I mean,
Jody Meeks has the record. Jody Meeks has the overall with 10, and then it's Bledsoe has it at Rupp.
Was that against Tennessee?
Yeah.
That game was crazy.
I thought I
Bledsoe
forgot
did it in Rupp. I thought Bledsoe did it in the tournament.
Meeks did it at Tennessee when Billy Gillespie told him not to shoot threes and to have at least 4 or 5 passes, and he kept shooting anyways because he knew he couldn't be taken out. And literally single-handedly won that game for us. It was crazy.
Yeah, he did.
And then somebody had to walk
before, right?
They almost got back to the dorm and somebody did something. They had to walk the rest of the way home in pouring rain.
That's when you kick the dude off the bus, right?
Yeah, Billy Gillespie's nuts. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
we should get him on the show. He's a new man now.
Oh my God, that would be. I don't even know
What is he
that
up
would
to
be,
nowadays?
That would be wild.
That
Wild.
would.
I'm trying to find this. I think it's 21 3-point attempts, 3-point field goals. That's a game.
See, I thought it
This
was
is a
18.
massively
I thought it was
elusive stat.
21.
Somebody tweet us what it is. We got a lot of smart fans out there. Somebody text us or something.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm just trying to. I don't remember if it was 20. Wait, we tied it. We would have tied it in the first game, right? In the first exhibition game, we would have tied it. What was it? We hit what in that 21?
Can't remember.
I could have
Jesus
helped
Christ.
much more during this process.
You guys are so useless.
I know.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Me and Joe were just here for the face.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I haven't been on all week. I
got a lot of problems.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Holy cow. Oh, yeah. Cancel a meeting to be on here.
I gotcha. All right. So we 3-point, we hit 21. So it's 22. So it's 22. Yeah. That's 20. I think that might get, I think there's a danger in that tonight. I'm not saying, I don't know if we get it, but I think there's a danger that I think tonight the 10, the 10's a different story. That's harder. But I think the 22 is very possible tonight because this team gives up way too many good looks.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with you. I think we do beat it because even when we bring in Noah and Perry and them with 8-9 minutes left, they're also on knockdown 3 balls tonight. Everybody's on win. It's going to be like Oprah. You get a 3, you get a 3, you get a 3, you get a 3. So we're going to have 11 guys are going to hit a 3 tonight. It's my prediction. And we're going to beat the record.
I'm just going to walk on the court and start taking corner 3, see what happens. I mean, I think I'm going to look like their guys out there.
You kind of look like one of the walk-ons, so you might be able to get by with that.
A little bit. The new one with the fluffy hair.
Yeah. Yeah. God, wouldn't that be something? Halftime, you just change jerseys and go out there and hit a 3. That'd be insanity. We get
the announcers trying to figure out what name to yell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who is that? You should have tried. You should have tried out.
What was the stat again? What are they giving up? Like, what was the Jackson State?
60% field goal percentages.
I'll find your exact number here.
It's like 60.7, I think, is what they allow. And they also allow 88 points a game. I mean, they play like Alcorn State.
Opponent field goal percentage is 52.3, the worst in the country. Where's 3-point defense? 3-point percentage defense is 47.2. I saw the same stat you did though, so now I'm confused.
No, it's 60 something.
I saw that too. I was totally. I was trying to just find your exact decimal because I saw the same thing.
We're gonna figure that out, and then we might tweet something out that's fun here a little bit.
Ooh,
so we'll see.
Get excited.
Yeah, I think that's there you go. Okay, switch gears a little bit. Football. We got a big football game tomorrow. I am still having a very hard time talking myself into not picking Kentucky. I know that seems. Why are we wearing all white tomorrow? Why can Kentucky football never do something cool? Why? Black, white, black tomorrow. Why? Why would you just go all white? Black, white, black. You're on national TV, 3:30, playing the number 3 team in the nation, and you can't break a New Jersey out. You are the most boring SOBs in the world. You are the same shit against Ole Miss. Now I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the exact same uniform combo as Ole Miss.
Well, good.
I was just sitting here looking at the Ole Miss thing, like waiting for it to click. Just waiting for the rant to abruptly end as he scrolled down one more. But yeah, they're rocking all white, keeping it clean. I don't mind it. They're bringing the snow to Texas. They're bringing the winter wonderland. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope Will Cox gets the majority of the carries tomorrow. I like Demo and everything, but Wilcox is just a whole different animal.
Yeah. The problem with Wilcox is well, maybe it's not even as much of his problem as much as Demi is just so good at pass blocking that they have to
Is it the
mix in
same
Demi
uniform combination?
runs. What?
Is it the same uniform combination? Yeah, it is.
I mean, I don't mind him playing, but Wilcox, I mean, he's still averaging like 7 point something a carry. I mean, that's
Oh yeah,
compared.
Wilcox should be the main runner. I'm just saying that is a reason that they play Demi a lot is because they have to give him runs to make them respect that option when he's in the game because he's such a good pass protector. You got to use him some.
Yeah. So tomorrow's we got a big day tomorrow. Obviously, Jaden and I, at least Jaden and I don't know if who else, potentially Rando. Not sure yet. We've got the Blue pregame football show tomorrow starting at noon. Then we get a little bit of a break, and then we will be back with the live watch along for Texas. Those have been really fun. A lot of you guys get engaged with that. At halftime of the Texas game, we will be announcing the winner of the State Line Co. Kentucky hat giveaway. And at the end of the game, State Line Co. will be on the live stream to give away their vest and hat fun combinations and things like that. So that should be a lot of fun. We're going to hopefully be watching a good game. We've never done a watch along where the game hasn't been good in one way or the other. We've never had a blowout. So hopefully, and we've only done it twice, but I guess history says, twice. Yeah. One for football, one for basketball. But history says we're a good luck charm. So I'm really going back. I'm really going back and forth on like I feel like picking Kentucky is just idiotic a little bit. I do. But
what's the spread?
21.
Oh, I would take Kentucky plus 21 all day. That's insanity. That's 21. Texas ain't that good.
I don't think the line is that good, and Kentucky's been too swaggy coming out of practice. Like I'm not saying that they're going to win, but the last time I saw the team this confident, they went down and beat Ole Miss.
I have a feeling there's some. We got our boys back. We got our squad back. Let's go show what we could have been. Energy in the locker room. That's probably what I would go with if I was stupid. It's like you finally got your boys back. Like you got everybody back except for DJ and Waller, but you got most of your boys back. you got almost all the boys bowling back. Let's go out. Let's prove it on national television that we were one of the best. Go put some NFL tape out there for the draft.
The lines dropped to 20.
I'd still take 20.
Here's the lines right now. That's dropped.
I'm doing that right now, actually, while we're on here.
Kentucky's line is dropped. Ohio State's line is dropped. Ole Miss's line has gone up, which is actually shocking. I actually would take Florida minus 12 or plus 12.
You scared me. I was like, what?
All right. Arizona State, I think, is held at minus 3 against BYU. Colorado's dropped at Tech. I think Colorado was at like 7 to start the week. It's at minus 3 now at Kansas. That's a dangerous game for Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody Kansas.
Army game is held right around 14. I think that's steady. That game I can't. I'm watching that game. We're gonna have that game is at. I think it's at during our game, but I mean we're gonna have multiple TVs on tomorrow. That's at 7. So Jaden might not leave my house till like 11 tomorrow.
It's gonna be a long day.
It'll be fun. It's gonna be full of football and fun stuff. That sounded really bad.
Y'all doing it outside?
No, we're not going to do it outside. And then the A&M Auburn game, the line's gone from 3 to 2.5.
Oh,
so the lines
that'll be a good game.
On some of these. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if the Texas line is like 18 by kickoff, which basically puts it exactly where it was for Ole Miss. If I had to rank, all right, the 4 top 10 teams we've played, just based off stats and everything I've seen, I would say, as of now, Ole Miss is the best team we've played, and we beat them. Georgia's 2, Tennessee's 3, and I would say Texas, out of the 4 top 10 teams we've played, is probably the worst. Because I think Tennessee has a more consistent defense
Yeah.
I think I would disagree.
And they have had a more tested
Definitely on
schedule.
Definitely on Tennessee. To be honest,
I think Tennessee would beat Texas. I just do. I've
I
seen
guess
Tennessee
we
play
just disagree
Georgia.
there.
Yeah, but why? If you look at Tennessee, they've played Georgia, they've played Alabama, right? Alabama's played Tennessee, and Alabama's played Georgia's played Tennessee, Texas, and Alabama. Tennessee's played Alabama and Georgia. Like, you can look at some similarities, and if you look at how they struggled against Georgia compared to the other teams and playing against Georgia, way different. I just think it's a whole different. They look like a team that still doesn't know what the SEC is. And no matter what people say, Kentucky's still got an SEC team. And look, and it only takes one game where Kentucky's play action pass works twice and they hit 2 big plays and then go on 2 longer drives and the defense scores the time. Like, it's not a crazy thing to say Kentucky could score 30 points in this game. It seems like it. They might not. I wouldn't bet money they would. But it doesn't take, like, they've got playmakers that can do that, where all they have to have is one big game, and they haven't had it yet, right? Even at Ole Miss, our playmakers on offense didn't have a big game. You have that one big game and you could do something.
I would be at shock and awe if we end up at 30 points at the end of this game. They're not giving up. They don't give up points to anybody. At one of these days, I'll fire the schedule. Yeah, 12 to Michigan, bad team. 13 to Mississippi State, 30 to Georgia. Georgia had 2 possessions start inside the 30. 24 to
Georgia's the
24 to Vandy. They had a possession start inside the red zone. 17 to Florida and 10 to Arkansas.
Just because you had a possession start inside the red zone doesn't mean shit. It just means the defense
doesn't have to go very far.
But Texas has had that turnover bug inside their own half. Like, that's the
turnover problem is real, but that doesn't have anything to do with how good their defense is.
But also their defense has played one top 50 offense. One.
Yeah, but we've played a lot of not top 50 offenses and gotten.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
Kentucky's played 4 or 5 top 50 offenses.
Yeah, but those aren't the games that we've looked bad.
Yeah, it is.
We've looked bad against the Floridas, the Vandys, the Auburns, these teams that don't have great.
Vandy's one of the ones that play. All right, so total offense. Kentucky's played Ole Miss, Tennessee,
long pause.
Sorry, I'm trying to see. Like, it broke it down earlier into
Hey, at the end of the day, we're gonna go down there and we're gonna play hard. We're gonna win the game, hopefully.
But they've played. So if you look at total offense and just think about who we've played, Ole Miss in terms of total offense is number 2. Texas is 22.
And I mean, I think you said there's a lot of Kentucky fans traveling, aren't they? A lot of Kentucky fans will be at the game.
Yeah, Kentucky, by the numbers, Tennessee and Ole Miss are better offensively, which is crazy because I don't think Tennessee's offense is that good. It's just been efficient or more efficient. I mean, Georgia's not even in the top 40, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of that's yards per game. Do you want yards per game, points per game? Like, what is your measure here?
I mean, I would like offensive efficiency allowed if you have it. Or success rate allowed. But these aren't easy. These aren't easy things to find at the
total offense.
At the drop of a hat.
So by points, it's Texas is up there.
Jaden, let me ask you this. Would you take Texas defense or would you take Kentucky's defense that we'll have tomorrow?
Texas.
Would you really?
Texas has the defensive line doesn't have stars except for maybe the freshman Colton something. What blanket on his last name. He's a true freshman and he's a freak show. But it's a bunch of really, really good guys. The linebacking core is Anthony Hill. He's the best linebacker in the conference probably. And then the corner, Trey Moore, is probably first team or second team All SEC corner. He's as good, if not better, than Max. Just trying to match up individually. And then they have 3 NFL safeties. The Clemson transfer, and then a couple other guys back there. And I have an alarm going off for who knows what reason. But they got stars all over the place, really, at every position.
I would
The
say
defense is like probably the most complete defense we've played all year with them in Georgia.
I just don't think so, man. I think Georgia still's got the most complete. I think Georgia's still the most complete defense we've played. And it's terrifying because I think Ole Miss's defense is better than Georgia's now with how they're playing.
Yeah, Ole Miss's defense creates a lot of havoc.
Yeah. I
similar
think
to ours. So
I
the
think
problem with us is we do all the things that these teams do. We just don't actually force the turnovers.
but we're not forcing turnovers this year. I mean, we're like middle of the league in turnovers this year. We're not.
Yeah, but our havoc rate is insane. It's top 10 in the country. So you would expect more turnovers. We just got our first 3 turnover game in the year last weekend against an FCS team. We've been creating a lot of turnover worthy plays, a lot of chances for turnovers, and we created a lot of turnovers quantity wise, but we haven't converted our chances very well.
We've created 18 turnovers.
Yeah, it should be more like 25, 30 with our havoc rate.
I lied. Hang on. We've only forced 13 turnovers all season.
Exactly.
Really?
They forced like 1 or 2.
Really?
And they fumble right after they get the fumble. I know. It's because the ball went through their hand 15 times in the first 4 games. They've had
true. They've had
3 drop interceptions in the last 3 weeks.
That is true.
Not going to the Murray State game.
They've only lost 4 fumbles all season, which is actually Kentucky has lost the second fewest fumbles in the SEC.
I wonder how many offensive plays they've ran.
Vanderbilt, Georgia, and LSU were 3. And then we're second. We're actually second with Missouri at 4. Everybody else is more than 5. Interceptions, that we are tied for the most in the conference with Georgia, shockingly, with 12. And so that's where. So we've given the ball over 16 times. We've only turned it over 13, but we've given it over 16. We haven't given the ball. We're not leading the SEC in turnovers, though. Oklahoma has more turnovers. Auburn, Arkansas, and I think we're tied with Georgia.
I mean, for us to win the game, we just got to control the clock, run the ball, take our time, get a couple stops here and there. Ewers or Manning, they'll both turn it over. So get a few pick sixes, maybe. We can make it happen. I think Texas don't win. I forgot what my prediction was. I think 24-14 or something. I think we'll cover the 20.
I think that 3 of us, we're not going to reveal it. We'll post it yet tomorrow, but I think 3 of us are pretty realistic on where the game is. I think one is way out there, and I think Jaden's a little high on a little high. I don't think it's unreasonable, but I think it's a little higher. I think you, me, and Rando are in the ballpark of where we think this. I would almost, if there was a bet, if Kentucky was winning at halftime, I would almost take that bet because I feel like they're probably going to be winning at halftime.
Hey, you can bet a first half thing.
They have led against Georgia, Tennessee, and Ole Miss at halftime.
Yeah, you can totally do that. That's an option on DraftKings, at least. That's
I can't get money on it. I try to upload money. It's like, you can't use this card. You can't use that card. I don't even know how to get money on the freaking account.
Just link it to your PayPal. Bet responsibly, though.
Like,
make sure you don't bet at all.
Yeah.
No, I was going to do like a $20 parlay on some insanity, and if it hit, it was going to be like $900.
Yeah. Yeah. It's DraftKings is a good one. FanDuel, it's a good one.
Well, we'll talk. We won't reveal our picks because we do the pregame show tomorrow, so we'll do that. But I think everybody except for Jaden agrees that this is going to be a close game tomorrow. Not tonight. Tonight's going to be an ass kicking. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show tonight. We do need to find out that stat because I think do we all agree that tonight Kentucky could potentially break the 3-point record though tonight? Are we in agreement there?
Yeah. I am now.
Possible.
Okay. I'm not saying they will, but it's possible, right? Does Kentucky have a chance tonight to break the most points in a game, do you think, or do you think no?
Yeah.
No,
If they're
because
hot,
Pope.
yeah.
Nah, Pope will put other people in, even the walk-ins with 8 minutes left, and not do that to people.
I tend to agree. I think Kentucky has a better shot of breaking the 3-point record because even those other kids will come in and they'll be jacking up threes too. I think there's a better chance of that than the points record. I don't think it would be crazy if we scored 110 to 115. I do think we break 100 though tonight.
I have a feeling if they hit 22 threes, they'll probably be pushing the scoring record.
They might. Unless it's
I would
they're
hope
just
so.
taking threes. Well, listen, Pope wants to take 35 threes, right? In a game like this, he might want him to take 50.
Jack them up.
Yeah, he might literally in this game be like, I don't want to see the ball even touch the paint tonight. I want to see the ball going up from the perimeter tonight because it's something he
That would be
wants to work
hilarious.
on. I mean, they're going to get points in the paint because it's inevitable. You're going to. But how he talked in the press game in the press conference this week, how he talked post game, I think this is an emphasis, and this is a game he knows he could probably get a lot of shots and a lot of quality shots. He wants to get the team in the feel of taking those shots. He wants to hit 35 threes a game, right? Like that's what he wants. He doesn't want to see 22. He doesn't want to see 12. He doesn't want to see 28. He wants to see 35. And I think that's what you see. You might see 40, 45 3-pointers tonight. And I think they can hit half of them. That's the thing. If they take 43s tonight, I think that record's got a shot to go.
It would definitely be a lot of fun if they could get all the way to 22 threes. I mean, like what reaction do you have in Rupp as they get to like 16, 17? Like, I mean, it's at that point it would just be like, what are we even doing here?
I think you're going to need a lot of people on. Do you think that people would know that we're getting to there in Rupp? Like,
yeah.
Are you
once
going
you get to the 20 range, you're like, we gotta be getting
getting
close here, right?
Aiden, are you going tonight?
No.
I was going to say that would be a cool video moment if it was there. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think people would go nuts because it would probably be really close to somebody like, maybe like Travis Perry or something hitting it to break the record, which would make everybody even go more nuts.
Probably would be.
I
almost picked him for my player of the game.
It's going to be interesting.
I think he'll play a lot.
I think it's going to be interesting tonight. I think it'll be fun. I think if you got a chance to go after it, like I think tonight's the night that they got it. Like this is one of those games where I think they could go get it. I don't think there's a lot of. I mean, there's a couple other games. I think maybe probably against one of the Ivy League schools, there's a chance they could go after it from that perspective. Maybe Georgia State's another one, but there's not a lot of opportunities to break it. Listen, if this team hits 23s in an SEC conference game, I'm going to lose my shit. All right, I'm just going to let you know. Like, but it's possible.
Did it tell you who?
Yeah. Arkansas won't play zone against us, and we will. Like, listen, I swear to God, if Cal comes into this arena and does not play zone, we're going to. He's, how like the hog has the spit coming out of its mouth. They're gonna have to change the logo to having its ass on fire because it's gonna be ran right out of this arena. Like the game will be over with 10 minutes left again. We will be absolutely curb stomping them.
I really, really hope he comes out in a 2-3 zone to start the game. I mean, that would just be the ultimate middle finger to all of us.
And that's why he would do it.
If he just switched between zones the whole game and never played one possession of man, just switch zones every possession, I'd applaud it. That would be hilarious.
We'd still probably whip their ass because they're not gals.
We'd beat them by 50 if they did that. But because they haven't worked on it, they haven't gotten there yet. It's February. It's too early for zone.
It's so funny, man. Like that game is going to be so fun. That week leading up to things is going to be so much fun. I can't wait for that. But I as fun as that game's going to be just for like shoving like a knife into a wound. Auburn and Alabama are the games that this place is going to be absolutely bonkers.
I think Arkansas is going to be the craziest by far. I mean, everyone and their mother is going to want to see Cal come back.
As fun as that will be. And that will be, I think that game has a tendency. I think that game has the potential of being fun, right? Auburn and Alabama walking into Rupp. Teams that walk into Rupp Arena with with a 5 or less in front of their number, it's different. And they're going to walk into this arena probably with a 5 or less. Both of them could walk in here with a number 1 potentially. Like they're that good.
Bama
And
won
then
at
obviously you
Illinois last
play
night, right?
Tennessee, and
Or
we hate
not
Tennessee.
Illinois, but didn't Bama beat Illinois last night?
They did win last night, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the juices are going to be flowing. I think the students are going to be very excited to see John Calipari because most of them have never seen Calipari be good at coaching basketball.
Tennessee won yesterday, but did not look good. No, Bama didn't play last night.
Was it 2 days ago?
Bama played
I
Tuesday.
saw something about them beating
Yeah,
Illinois.
they beat Illinois by 13.
Yeah, Tennessee did not look good.
No, and
They played
unfortunately
defense,
for them, they played a team that's worse at offense than them.
Ziegler had 2 points. He was like 1 for 9, and then all he had was Chaz Lanier. I mean, he stopped him.
Joe, you might know better. How actually close were we to getting Chaz Lanier?
We were very, very, very close.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like last minute Tennessee threw some extra.
Probably for the best, at least so far.
Yeah. I mean,
he'd have
been deadly on this team, though. Don't get us wrong on that.
Oh, he'd be wide open.
It would have been Chaz Lanier, or it would have been Chaz Lanier or Jackson Robinson. I don't think you would have gotten both.
Yeah, I was about to say we wouldn't have got Jackson if we got Chaz. I'd rather have Jackson.
Tonight, there's a lot of they wanted both, so I thought that
tonight you've got interesting games tonight. You've got very interesting games tonight. You've got Duke on the road at Arizona, and you've got Baylor against Tennessee.
That Baylor Tennessee, I applied for the company that puts that event on. I was supposed to be at that if I'd gotten that job. I would have been at the Baylor St. John's Ricky P double overtime buzzer beater last night.
Yeah, that was
heartbreaking. Well, we're glad you didn't get it so that you could be with us.
Yeah, and then Tuesday, Tuesday, Kentucky obviously plays Western. That'll be a fun game because we haven't played Western in a long time. I think a lot of people will be into that. Oregon plays Texas A&M. That's going to be an interesting game just because Oregon's undefeated. And that could be it. I mean, you're going to get a good measuring
stick. Where's that
at? It's in a tournament, Las Vegas. Then you've got Houston, Alabama, Kansas, Duke, and Rutgers, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's undefeated as well. Rutgers is undefeated and they're ranked. So the nightcap of games, Oregon and A&M is actually early, but the 8, 9, 10, 30 games are kind of nuts on Tuesday.
If you're bored at all, Miami and Oklahoma State just tipped off. So there are really good games all day because of these tournaments. With the
Miami shit the bed yesterday against Drake. Shit the bed.
Drake, they have all the D2 transfers, right? Is that Drake?
They have all the good D2 transfers, and they actually look good.
And they beat the brakes off Miami, kind of, didn't they?
They won by 10, I think, 8 to 10. But it was an 8-point game.
I saw some people saying it wasn't really it was more competitive. I thought people.
It was it was 5 to 8. It was 5 to 8 the whole game, right? It was just Miami could never really get past that 5-point mark. I think Drake went up 13 at one point early in the first half. Miami cut it to 5, and then it was just always in that realm.
Yeah, they went and got the D2 All-Star squad at Drake.
Who'd you say Rutgers play?
Notre Dame.
Oh, that'll be a good one. Ace Bailey, man, that dude's a stud. So if you haven't seen Rutgers play yet, go watch them.
They got Ron Harper too, right?
There's a lot of people saying that he might give Cooper Flagg the run for his money for the number 1 pick.
Yep. It wouldn't not shock me.
Louisville plays Indiana on in the Bahamas on Wednesday. That's an interesting game, just a name only. I think Louisville's going to get absolutely boat raced. West Virginia plays Gonzaga next Wednesday. That could be interesting. Texas A&M and Creighton play next week. Rutgers and Alabama play next week. Houston and Notre Dame play next week. So there's a lot of good games kind of starting to really start to fit. Next week's almost kind of like a tournament feel with all the kind of ranked matchups you've got next week.
Well, it is all the tournaments. It's the Thanksgiving tournaments.
So you've got the Thanksgiving tournaments that are going to be fun to watch from the neutral perspective. Then we go into the first week of December playing Clemson and Gonzaga. So the next 2 weeks will be fun from a from a just
Audience.
a fans. Oh, no, yeah, just to watch, right? And then Kentucky gets into seriousness. The games are coming hot and heavy too after next week.
And then when Kentucky beats Texas tomorrow, we get to play Louisville next week for our chance to go to a bowl game and beat them for a 7th straight year.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Kentucky wins tomorrow, I cannot wait to see what that stadium is like.
Oh, it'll be packed.
It's going to be. Listen, Kentucky fans have showed up every time you like. The thing that really gets me is you get these guys on Twitter, right? And we've seen the fun side of Twitter and the ugly side of Twitter doing this in the little bit we've done it. But like, oh, there's not going to be fans boycott. It's not like no one's listening to you guys. Like it's not happening. Like the stadium. We played Murray State, who's one of the worst FCS teams, and had 50,000. Right? Like it wasn't full, but it was not close to empty. I mean, it was not even close. There wasn't 40,000 there. Like it wasn't one of those games where even you're like, yeah, this wasn't good. It was a good, really good crowd. It was probably 55,000. It wasn't a sellout. The student section was almost sold out. And if people think that Louisville's not going to be a sellout, I think you're crazy. I think it's just the atmosphere, right? Like we're gonna be up for the game if Kentucky plays well, the crowd's gonna be good, right? Kind of a thing. But if they win this week, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one of those batshit because now you're going for a bowl game. You kind of get to save the season a little bit, and you get to shove it at Louisville again. I think it'll be fun. But I mean, first we got to hopefully beat Texas. But that's an uphill battle.
If they beat Texas, I'm booking my my tickets to Tampa for the Gasparilla Bowl. Lock me in.
You were gonna play in the Gasparilla Bowl.
Do what?
We'll be in the Music City Bowl again.
I would take the Music City Bowl.
Yeah.
And a heartbeat in the Heartbeat Music City Bowl this year. If they got like the Gasparilla Bowl, that'd be even crazier because then they get a Florida Bowl game at 6-6. Sign me up.
Well, I think the Gasparilla Bowl is the bottom SEC bowl.
It's in Tampa.
That's the bottom SEC tie-in. Yeah.
Isn't there one called like Pop Tarts Bowl or something?
Order, not by like location. It's just there's like an order.
I mean, there's a chance they could get the Texas Bowl game. They could get that one too, which they've never played in. That would be interesting.
Oh, quick note! I'm changing my player of the game to Zion Childress because isn't he from Texas? He came from Texas State.
He is from Texas.
Yeah, I'm switching it to Zion Childress.
Right, I'm just gonna let you know my player of the game is not a player.
Is it the Bull?
No, it's the defense.
Oh, the defense.
There's literally a D in offense.
Can I pick player of the game the Kentucky team?
No.
Do you only get half of the team?
Yeah, you got to pick like a unit. You know, I think you should pick Rayner. I think Alex.
You'll see my prediction. I went with a touchdown. I almost went with all field goals and Rayner as my MVP. I had it typed out and I decided not to do it.
You might change it before we post it tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah,
I might have a
spin. We'll see. We'll post it. All right, guys. This has been a really good show. Really fun. Looking forward to seeing tonight. Cats. We got to find that stat. We'll post something out. It'll be fun. And hopefully, maybe we go make a run at the record and it'll be fun. Twitter will be fun because we'll be all like 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. And it'll be a good time. So thanks everyone for listening. Appreciate it. Had a good crowd on today. Go Cats, and we'll see hopefully everybody on the Bleed Brew pregame show tomorrow on the live stream and also on the watch along tomorrow starting at 3.
Go Cats.
See you guys. Oh, don't forget Travis Berry not Travis Berry. Jesus Christ. What? Travis Ford is going to be on the show on Friday, or on Monday. So big week to kick off Thanksgiving week. So
and right. Darius West is Wednesday, right?
Is he?
I thought that's what you tweeted.
I didn't tweet anything about Wednesday.
Oh. Well, then that's not true then, because I would have only. I haven't put anything
about the other people yet. So, all right, everybody, appreciate it. Thanks for.